guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am back for my 15-week pregnancy update. I am in a different location. I'm actually at my parents' house, and I'm like filming and uploading on the same day because I want to wait until my midwife appointment. But anyways, I'm filming at my parents' house today. So according to my app, the baby is the size of an avocado, which is really actually unreal and kind of big because my parents had avocados and I was like looking at it like, that's pretty big. Like, I can't believe it. It's crazy. So at 15 weeks, according to my Ovia app, baby H's face is beginning to look remarkably human and proportions are getting more normal. Their heart is pumping a bunch of blood now. Baby H is inhaling amniotic fluid just like you are breathing in and out, which helps to develop his lungs, the air sacs in his lungs that will help him to breathe oxygen. The eyes are also moving to the front of their head while the ears are making their way to the sides, so they resemble even more so like a real person. Baby H is becoming increasingly proportional as the legs are finally longer than their arms, and the little heart, still under construction, is now capable of pumping 25 quarts of blood a day. They can also bend their knees and elbows. Their skeleton is still developing and they might even be starting to grow hair. And it says here that baby H measures in at about 4 inches long, the size of an avocado, which is really cool. So week 15 for me was quite an interesting week. The biggest thing that happened was like I had a huge scare on Saturday. Is it Saturday? Saturday. Now I'm like trying to remember. On Saturday, I woke up. I was fine. We were supposed to come to my parents' house. I went to the washroom and I started to just feel this like really severe back pain. It felt like kind of like where your, I guess kind of where your kidneys are maybe, but it was only on the right side. It's like killer back pain and I couldn't do anything. It got to the point where I tried heat, I tried like, I tried to massage it, I tried lying down in every position, I tried standing up, I tried everything, and this pain was like no relief. There was no relief for this pain to the point where I felt like I was gonna cry. And then I started to throw up, and in my mind I thought everything that was happening was all separate, but then as I look back on it, I'm like, maybe they were connected. But I started throwing up. And I hadn't even had breakfast yet because this was like first thing after I woke up. So it was just a lot of TMI, sorry, like gagging, dry heaving, like, you know, not really anything to come out of my system. So that was really, it was not pleasant. It hurt. It was that point of like when you still feel like you need to throw up, but there's really nothing there. I tried drinking like ginger ale and eventually that came up too. So I ended up calling the urgent number for the midwife, for the pager, and they called me back and they said, you know what, it sounds like it's some just like back pain, which is normal. They were like, maybe you should see a chiropractor, someone who's familiar obviously with working with people who are pregnant and things like that, because that's, you know, she said, did you try a heating pack? I said yes. She said, did you try a hot bath? I said, I haven't done that. So I said, okay, I'll try it. What I did was my mom was picking me up because Huang had gone to my parents' house to do some work for them. So my mom picked me up and we were gonna go to the emergency room, and as the midwife called me back, that's when my mom showed up, and I just kind of said, you know what, I'm just gonna go to the house. I'm gonna try to relax. It's not worth it going to sit in the emergency room forever and ever, and they're basically gonna tell me like, we can't do much for you. So I came to the house. I took a warm bath with like Epsom salts and coconut oil, and I just kind of laid in that. And eventually the pain kind of started to go away. So that was really helpful. And at the same time, I started to feel like, after I talked to the midwife, I started to feel like maybe I was getting a UTI because I was starting to have that feeling of that sense of urgency to go to the washroom, but there really wasn't anything there. Like, and that for me was a sign of like, am I getting a UTI? Like, what's happening? Like, I felt like my body was just falling apart on me that day. So my dad went out and bought me this huge jug of cranberry juice, and I drank that all day that day, all day the next day. And everything kind of went away, but the next day it kind of started back up. I woke up with the same back pain, no vomiting or anything, but same back pain, and all I did was like walk up and down the house, just like kept moving, because I figured if it's a muscle that's tightening or spasming or something, like maybe it'll just kind of work itself out. So I just kind of walked up and down, kept moving, even though it was so painful. And then eventually I decided to get into the bath again with the Epsom salt. And that kind of helped. And I was able to like soothe the pain, went away, and I was able to go back to sleep. And since then, so that was Sunday, I haven't had that pain again. It's not come back. So I guess maybe that's what it is. So I definitely think I do need to look into a chiropractor, because I've had a lot of issues with back pain. That day was the worst, but I think it's something I'll have to look into. But that was like the biggest thing that happened in week 15 that really scared me. It was the first time that I felt like maybe something's wrong and I need to get this checked out. Because for the most part, I kind of just let things go and, you know, I chalk it up to whatever symptoms, but this felt like it doesn't feel right. So I had that severe back pain, I had the nausea, I had the vomiting. Other than that, there have been a few days where I've had the morning sickness. It kind of comes and goes. I'm starting to think it's obviously the eating. So I need to be keeping on top of that, eating more often. Headaches, my headaches that come and they stay all day. So I've had a few headaches this week. Maybe I would say I've had maybe 2 or 3 this week. Again, with the same like round ligament pain, that stretching feeling, like everything is just moving and stretching and on in there. And then my usual breast tenderness. A new symptom that I've actually had is acne. I've had the acne on my face, but this week I've had acne on my chest. I don't think you guys can really see it. I'd have to be up close. But I've had a little bit of a breakout here on my chest, which is not normal for me. I've never had that before, but it's not too bad and it's not crazy. So I'm just kind of going with the flow of it. And other than that, that's pretty much it for symptoms of this week. In terms of cravings, another symptom actually is like gas, in the sense of like any kind of gas that could be, but for me mostly it's like a lot of burping. Excuse me, I'm like burping right now. That's why it like made me be like, wait a minute. Burping, a lot of burping. And sometimes it feels like it's not like an air burp, like it's a burp of like I could be sick, but I'm not. It's just really weird feeling. But I have been burping a lot more than I was previously. In terms of cravings, the only craving I could say that I've really had this week is fruit, like all kinds of fresh, cold fruit. I'm all about that life. That's been the only thing really that I've been craving this week. It's been pretty low key. So I had my second midwife appointment, and I got to meet the second midwife on my team. So my team has 3 midwives on it. So now I've met 2 out of 3. It was really cool because Huang was able to come with me, and I really like her. She's really nice. I think from what I understood, she's my main midwife out of the 3. But I know at on any rotation for appointments, I'll see all of them, and then on the day of, it kind of just depends on who's the one who's available at that time. So far so good. I like 2 out of the 3, so I think that's pretty good. Huang was able to come, so he heard the heartbeat. The baby was like not about that though, because she put it was really faint, and then the baby moved, and she did it again and the baby was faint and the baby moved, and the last time she was able to get it pretty clearly. But I think the baby was just kind of moving a lot. And I don't know if I mentioned this before, but when I went for my 12-week ultrasound, they did tell me that I have an anterior placenta, and So that could muffle a lot of what's going on, and I think that's kind of why the heartbeat wasn't, you couldn't hear it as clearly because I think the baby's a little bit behind. Although you would still hear it, like you can hear it, but it's not as clear as it was when I had gone in for my 10-week appointment with the midwife. So that was really nice, and she said, you know, as time goes, you'll be able to hear it a lot clearer. So it'll take time, so that's cool. And that was pretty much it. We just kind of talked about, you know, my headaches. What can I do about my headaches? What can I do about, just talked about diet and things like that. And just kind of preparing myself as I'll be going back to work next week. So, you know, just kind of getting myself on track. So that was pretty much it for week 15. Eventful, yes, but is what it is. 15 weeks, so cool. Getting closer and closer to being halfway through the pregnancy, which is actually insane to think about. I think that's pretty much it. So I am going to go ahead and show you guys the bump, and then that'll be it. Okay, so this is the bump. I'm wearing some leggings, so I want to make sure you guys can really see it. Okay, so this is the bump with my shirt on. I feel like it still looks the same. Some days it looks bigger, and at some points during the day, it's from the front and from the other side. Sometimes it looks bigger than others, and I just have a black tank top underneath. So that's what it looks like from the side, from the front, and from the other side. And that's baby H at 15 weeks. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time in my 16-week pregnancy update. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and make sure you click that subscribe button so that you guys can see all of my new videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.